World Teachers Day is an excellent opportunity for all of us throughout the world to celebrate the passion, the care, and the commitment that teachers demonstrate in their work with children every day. Setting the standard for great teaching is all about preparing and supporting qualified, competent, and caring professionals. When we equip teachers to excel, the possibilities for students are limitless.
Last year, my daughter had a truly inspirational teacher. Donal O'Grady was his name. And with Donal, you never knew what to expect when you arrived in the classroom. Often what you would find were school bags in one corner, desks in another, and 31 sweaty 8-year-olds dancing their hearts out as Donal played his button accordion. He was a transformative teacher. Really, he achieved so much in the year. They did all their work, their maths, English, Irish, but they did so much more as well. But of course, as well as Donal, there was the principal, Anya Niconsihi, who allowed the noise and the jumping and the dancing. And really, it's the principal who has created that culture in the school of openness and of, always working to do what is right for the children. It's been a wonderful place to be educated for my children, but also a great place to be a parent.
The teacher I remember who made the most impression on me was an English teacher I had in school. And what made her really good was, first of all, she had a huge passion and enthusiasm for her subject. And secondly, she was able to communicate that to young people. And I believe that that led me directly to want to study English in college. And I think those are the two qualities that are most important: having a passion for your subject and being able to communicate it to your students. And I've seen that right around the country since I became minister. I've seen those kinds of teachers. One I remember recently was a teacher in Finglas in Dublin who was teaching horticulture and who felt very strongly that young people, and particularly urban children, should be growing things and should understand how things are grown. So these are the qualities that I think make a really good teacher: enthusiasm and passion, and particularly that ability to be able to communicate that to the young people in their classrooms.
I'm a fifth-year student with dyslexia. I've had the same teacher working for the last 5 years. Without her help, school would be very different.
My PE teacher got me into the running club which I'm in today. I hope this opens the door for a scholarship to college, and this will change my life completely.
When I walk into his class, I feel like I'm being given the opportunity to treat it like a young adult. We feel like we work with him instead of being told what to do.
The teachers who made the most positive impact on my life were the teachers who I think pushed me to go further than I thought possible myself. There were teachers who thought beyond the immediate here and now of a given resource or textbook. There were teachers who gave full scope for the imagination and for creativity. I think in particular of my 5th class teacher in primary school, Michael Dooley, and my English teacher for the junior cert, Mrs. Louise Williamson. I remember very vividly Mrs. Williamson in particular drawing a link between The Lion and the Merchant of Venice, the quality of mercy is not strained, the droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven, and the line in Yeats's poem, and I shall have some peace now, for peace comes dropping slow. That for me was one of my epiphany moments of learning, if you like. I suppose where the teacher had drawn a link between creativity across the ages to the here and now, to fire the imagination for the future.
I love it when my teacher says that we're going to do Irish, because I just moved back from California and I was really worried that I would be behind in my Irish. But since I got back, it's become my favourite subject because I really enjoy learning a language, especially when I get the sentences and words right.
I like when the teacher says that we have to pick a partner for Gael got our tables, and I also like the events that go on in school each year, like the readathon and the book fair.
A good teacher once told me that education is the greatest gift you can give or receive, because it opens the windows of the mind to let the light shine through.
The teacher who influenced me most at school wasn't in the classroom at all. It was on the river rowing. He was the rowing coach in the school, and he was a Latin scholar at Trinity in the early days, but he was totally black and white. If we lost races, he said it was our fault. If we won races, he said we got to look to the future. So Bill Jakes, rowing coach, taught me to avoid making excuses and instead make it happen.
My very first teacher in a 2-teacher primary school on the Dingle Peninsula in the 1950s was Peg Nievrick. She it was who introduced me to the world of reading, who nurtured in me a love for maths, and who opened my ear to the beauty and the richness of the Irish language. My first stint as a teacher was when Peg asked me as an 8-year-old to use the blackboard at the side of her room to teach addition to my young friend and neighbour Billy. Over 10 years later, I returned as a student teacher from St. Patrick's Drumcondra to do my teaching practice with her class. I was struck yet again by her empathy, her care and her respect for the pupils and their families.
I like it when teacher asks us to do writing and I'm very good at it. I love when my teacher says we're going swimming because I love going on the bus with all my friends and swimming with all my friends. And I also love when somebody comes in to talk to us in school. I love my teacher, but it's great when someone new comes in to teach us about something different.
I like Gina because she didn't pick favourites in the class. I like Cormac because one day when I was feeling sick, he comforts me.
The teacher who changed my life was David Drew Smythe. My parents were going through a divorce. We as children had all of the complexities that went with that. He was supposed to be just my English teacher, but he took the time to understand me, to know me and to help me. He helped me take a developing stutter and turn it around so that I can now do with my life what I do, which is speak in public to the world about the importance of education. If it wasn't for David, I wouldn't be here.
In Wales we have a saying called gwell disg na golid, which means knowledge is better than wealth. I spend a lot of time with teachers on a daily basis and I'm always very impressed and inspired by the excellent work that they do. That information is inspirational to me in my daily work at the Education Workforce Council.
It was our hurling final. It was lashing rain and we were 2 points down and our coach was screaming at us from the side of the pitch. He wore his old school jersey from back in the day, and just to show us how proud we should be to wear the school crest, he was a true inspiration.
I remember he took us out for a motivational talk the day before our final and he got a fire brewing in everyone's belly. We look back to that day for the passion he showed and it still drives us on in our matches today.